3-1. Delivery now by Rocco. Gets the corner. Nice pitch that time. I couldn't tell if there was a bend there or not, but with
looked like a real good fastball down in the zone. Real good pitch. See if he can come back and finish him off here at full count.
As Stauffacher steps back out, regroups. Coming up next for Centennial will be Mose. Off the handle here, a little flare, going to reach the outfield that time. Just off the handle, and now they're going to continue to go as Kleiber is going to come all the way home and score. An aggressive, energetic move, and Kleiber scores from second on a little flare off the handle by Hoffecker, and Stauffacher reaches with a single on the throw. He goes to second, but he'll get the RBI.
Yeah, real good job of fighting one off here and aggressive base running. You get a nice relay from Sam Abbas. Close play at the plate. I wasn't real sure live, but good base running there to get that run across.
Bryson Mose, the catcher, digs in here, the first right-handed hitter in the lineup for Centennial squad that consists of mostly 18, 19, and 20-year-olds. Bose out of Forest Lake.
So when are you going to get the quadruple look, Tony?
As Paul Molitor says, they just replaced the runner at second.
Go
did.
Go higher and higher.
So Centennial squad. Centennial 4-7 in league play, 12-13 overall. A 1-1 delivery. Here by Rocco. Off-speed pitch that goes low and in. Moving the count to 2-1.
I still struggle with that strike zone a little bit. Sure like to be able to start going at some guys here.
On a humid evening, this gritty and battle-tested Aces squad would like to get in and get out and start hitting. But right now, Rocco trying to look back the runner and get that first out. Good-looking pitch on a fastball that caught the corner. Rocco came in with a whip of 154. And this is a foul back. Had some tough outings as he went against the Bucks earlier this year. Most recent was a win over the River Rats.
Yeah, was that the one where they went from the Les Mis?
3-2 delivery. No one out. Here, top half of the first. Centennial already up 1-0. And this breaking pitch looked like a back foot breaking ball attempt that missed inside. So Mose, the catcher, will find his way to first. Runners at first and second. 9 players right now for Centennial.
I was not expecting.
You know, normally, Joe, you're not excited about a walk, but in that situation with the base open, you're okay with it. You just really got to get ahead of this guy right now. Come get him.
Ethan Pettis out of Blaine. He'll be the pitcher tonight. Hitting number 4, grips and rips at the first pitch, fouls it back.
Great job getting on top. And right now, the hard part here, defense, is you kind of been sitting back here a little bit. You really want to get any balls to your feet, go make a play right here.
This one's hit hard. Knocked down at third. Go get the force. Nice play by Waddell to settle that ball. Good hands. It was a hard hit shot by Bettis. But to get that first out, and there's nothing like that first out when you're going through a struggling first inning like this.
Well, I'd say that was a rocket. That's a great job by Carson Waddell knocking that thing down. Make sure you get an out. Now you're teed up here. Get yourself another ground ball, double play. You get out of this thing with pretty minimal damage, actually.
Cooper Anderson steps in now for the Cougars. Cougars lost a tough one, 3-2 to the Springers just the other night. the third lefty that Rocco will be facing here in this top 5 hitters.
You know, these last couple hitters, looks like he's really settling in here, starting to work ahead. Makes life a lot easier.
Fastball gets away up and in that time. A 263 hitter is Cooper Anderson. 10-38. 7 runs scored by Anderson. More impressive, you can tell, he's a disciplined hitter. Just 4 strikeouts on the season for Anderson and an on-base percentage of .362. Looked like a spinner. That nice late break that time. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Evens it up to the number 5 hitter.
Great pitch right there by the lefty. Just missing small, just off the outside corner. See if we can finish him up here.
Gets it.
Great
Move.
pitch.
Might call that frozen pizza, right? Had him locked up. Good breaking pitch, froze him. And that's the first strikeout here this evening for Rocco. And that'll bring up the number 6 hitter, Damon Thempke. Thempke comes in hitting .333. His 7th game of the season. A hard ball. One hopper to second. Gathered in and collected there by Stoik. And held to just 1 run in the top half of the inning. Just a 1-0 lead here for Centennial. Probably wanted to get more out of it, but I'll tell you, it was Rocco who kind of righted the ship.
Well, you know, and that's a great job of pitching out of a jam there. That really could have turned sideways on him. Just did a nice job continuing to throw strikes, keep grinding, and let your defense make plays.
Get a look here. Here's a batting lineup. As you can see there, Rob Belschner, one of those coaches. I know Kyle Hoppy, one of those as well, along with the number 2 hitter, Sam Plohas. The leadoff hitter and playing third is Carson Waddell. Meanwhile, hitting second, has a lot of the records here for the Aces, is Sam Plohas. Then hitting 3 is Andrew Rocco, the pitcher. Or he's actually not hitting third. We'll get that rectified, as it's going to be Brick hitting in that number 3 spot, Tyler Brick. Then Sam Abbas will hit next at the number 4 spot, playing first base. Owen Dylong in center field, hitting 5th, followed by Benji Bruce in right field. And hitting 7th is Connor Stoik, who just made the play at second base, followed by Sam Berg, a catcher, hitting 8th. And then is Jake Damovic. Damovic at shortstop, hitting 9. Meanwhile, there's the defensive set here for the Cougars, as Karnowski's in center field, followed by Stoffnacker in left, Anderson in right. Meanwhile, at third, Michael Murray. Shortstop is Kleiber. Second is Ryan Burley. First is Damon Thumke. Behind the dish is Mose. And with 4 pitches on the mound tonight, 4 different pitches, is Ethan Pettis. Pettis out of Blaine. He'll be heading to Minnesota Duluth to play some baseball there. Leading off is Carson Waddell. Waddell comes in on the season hitting .247. A few doubles, 6 RBIs, and 18 runs. Leads the team in stolen bases with 16, and takes a rip and a grip at that first pitch, moving it down the right field line. Not able to get to it. I saw him stretch and saw the ball pop out. I used to think, John, that the foul line was ended right at that mound, or right into the dirt.
Yeah, no, here at Castle Field, they're going to let that play. Even that little cubby there right of our camera guy on the dugout at first.
Second pitch, Waddell goes after that, pops it up. Now they call off pitch, and taking it at first is Centennial, and Waddell is retired. Plohas now steps in. Sam Plohas, 253 thus far, 10 RBIs, a couple of doubles. Had a chance to speak with the manager for Centennial. In fact, he's been the manager since they started about 7 years ago. And he had said that the reason Pettis decided to go to Minnesota Duluth was so he could play the field as well as pitch and have that option. But he says he has some explosive stuff. Fastball, low 80s. He's behind in the count right now, 3-1 to Blowhouse.
Well, you know, one thing you like about Pettis here, he's really working at a quick tempo. That's helpful for your defense. Not a lot of messing around. He's on the mound. He's ready to go. See what he does here with Blowhouse with a full count.
Full count, 1 out. Bottom of the first, getting away, kicked into left field. No sun to battle with here at Castle tonight with that. In that left field, you sometimes see fielders struggle with it before it sets. And a fly out to left, that's 2 down here for the Aces.
Looks like Pettis might have thrown a little change up there. Kind of got Sam out on his front foot.
I don't know about you, but that's how I eat. I'm always out over my front foot when I eat as well.
But if you're like me, it's both hands and feet when you're eating.
Tyler Brick out of Coon Rapids takes a rip at that first pitch, flies to center, and that will end the inning. So a Wisconsin inning. You get in, you get out. For the Aces, 3 up, 3 down. We have 1 complete here from Castle Field. It's a 1-0 lead for Centennial. Welcome back. Joe Rulin along with John Heath. John Heath spent this past year with Anoka Ramsey on their coaching staff here for baseball, and also spent some time coaching at Andover. College ball at Iowa State, and kind of a pitching guru as well.
Well, there's a few familiar faces out there from Andover that I had the pleasure of working with. Kind of nice to be able to see these guys as they progress and develop.
It'll be Ryan Burley that leads off here for Centennial. Top half of the second. Ground ball. Waddell makes the play. Releases. Nice catch and release for Waddell. 1 pitch, 1 out. Quickly here, top half of the second. Retired is Burley. Michael Murray.
We like those 1 pitch, 1 out.
Oh,
deals,
yes.
Joe. We'll take those all day long.
Those work well. Michael Murray comes in hitting 125. 3 hits on the season. Watches a fastball. Up and out that time. Andrew Rocco, again, a member of the All-State team. Waving at a pitch. Up and beyond the eyes. Sometimes those pitches are tough to lay off.
Yeah, they look real good, but they're tough to catch up with.
1 ball, 1 strike. He went that time as a breaking pitch had him out in front.
That's a nasty breaking ball. And after climbing the ladder of the pitch before, snapping one off inside, you can kind of throw about anything you want right here. You just don't want to hit the middle of the plate.
Opponents are hitting 236 versus Rocco this season. There's a lazy breaking pitch off speed. Took a little bit more off of that pitch. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Now to Murray. Swung on and missed. Great pitch. Excellent location, John.
Yeah, now you're really starting to see some nice command out of Rocco here. You're starting to see him kind of mix his pitches up, being around the plate. This pitch right here looked like the bottom just fell out of that thing.
Good release. Hey, I love watching that follow through, the arm whip.
Oh, yeah.
And where that movement of the ball really gets its gusto from. Third hitter, Karnowski.
Well, that's one thing the old pitcher in me kind of likes, a little humidity. That usually gives you a little more snap on that breaker and a little more movement on that two-seam sinker and changeup.
Breaking pitch there. An offering there and swung on and missed. What's the cold weather give their pitch? In the spring in Minnesota, it is so tough.
It is, and I don't know what's worse, man, trying to grip a ball as a pitcher or getting one off the fist as a hitter like you're hitting with a cast iron skillet. I think I'd rather throw it than hit it.
Do you find that you kind of want to discipline your pitchers to throw in? Follow back there?
Yeah, you know, I think certainly if you can, you let you throw it right under their hands. And then I tell you, off the end of the bat doesn't feel great either. I know my son used to complain he had cold fingers, and I had to give him a geography lesson. Said, son, you don't live in Texas or Arizona. So.
0-2 delivery, fouled straight back. The Aces mentioned having another impressive season. Come in at 17-9 overall.
Great pitch.
Punched out, a call out behind the plate umpire, opens the fridge, grabs a beverage, and shuts the door for the punch out. And the second strikeout by Centennial here in this top half of the second as we get ready for the bottom of the third. Rocco looking like he's starting to hit that cadence now.
Yeah, he really settled in nice, and it sure looks like you got a ball game here going now. I'm going to be curious to see how these hitters from the Aces react now. You know, Pettis has kind of demonstrated he's going to work at a quick pace. He's going to come right at you. So I think if I'm stepping into the box for the Aces, I'm probably looking that first pitch in the zone somewhere and trying to be aggressive with it.
3 strikeouts thus far coming into the game, 25 for Rocco in just 14 innings of pitch. So now 28 on the season. Pettis, you mentioned he likes to get to that mound first and, you know, square it up and get the throw. He's got that mindset or the behavior of he's late for something when he's pitching.
Well, you know, it's Friday night. He's a young man. He might have a hot date later on, Joe. We don't know.
So Abbas is going to lead it off here for the 17-9 Aces as they try to even it up. They trail 1-0 here at the bottom of the second. Abbas hitting .255 on the season. Takes a swat at this. He hasn't.
Well, kind of what I would expect there. You know, again, the way Pettis is throwing so far and knowing Sam the way I know him, he probably ain't going to beat you in a 60-yard dash, but he can put a bat on a ball for you.
It's impressive as well. Slugging percentage as far as .383. He's got a home run, 6 RBIs, and 3 doubles. 13 walks, and this one's going to carry out to right field and make it to play there as Centennial for the first out of the inning.
And I tell you, with the way this wind's blowing tonight, I'm not sure there's any play this is given. So some of those little flares, you never know. Right fielder did a nice job on that one.
Now we get a look at Owen DeLong out of Champlin playing center field. Tries to check his swing, and he does. On that first pitch by Pettis, DeLong comes in hitting .288, 17 of 59 on the season. Rips this one to short. 3-hopper, picking it up, making the play off balance in time to get DeLong by about a stride. Nice play at short that time to charge it. Those 3 hoppers, the 4 hoppers, that becomes the tricky part many times for those infielders.
Yeah, that ball just gets past the pitcher. Good play by that shortstop, not sitting back, coming to get in the ball and go along, run that thing out hard, made it a close play.
Get a look at Benji Bruce. First pitch here, gets after it. As maybe they have some sort of indicator what's coming first pitch from Pettis.
Well, like I said, when you got a guy coming at you in the zone, which is what you want as a pitcher, but as a hitter, you got to be prepared for that.
Bruce, a .261 hitter thus far, 12 of 46 on the season. And an on-base percentage of .382. Cut there. Balls it back to the right side of the catcher. Quickly up here, 1 ball, 2 strikes is Pettis.
And again, he just keeps pounding the zone, so great job out of Pettis here as a hitter. You know, in this situation, 2 strikes, you're just trying to fight him off and put it in play. Benji's usually pretty solid with that. Doesn't strike out much.
Off-speed pitch that time. Just low.
Real good eye, real good discipline. That's a tough one to lay off.
That is good poise there by Bruce. This one's a hit, knocks it. Saw a lot of pitches, and those at bats, John, typically pay off as they just did there for Bruce. Fouled a few back, about a 6 pitch at bat into that quality at bat ranking, and Bruce lines the first hit of the game to right field for the Aces.
Well, what you love about that at bat, that's a classic example of just not trying to do too much with the ball. Just hit that ball where it's pitched. Be patient, just drive it through the right side and get a base hit.
Connor Stoik steps in, the second baseman, 3 of 17. There you got to look at that replay. And triple and a couple of walks on the season. Good pitch location that time, outside part of the plate. I've been trying to watch. I always love to kind of see if there's any tells or tips with the pitcher, if he's leading off each hitter with a particular pitch. Thus far, Pettis has been mixing it up pretty well. That time, a dirty ball on the breaking pitch. And a nice block by Mose.
And another thing you look for, too, to move to first. Another thing you look for, too, is this is the first time you've got a runner on base against Pettis. Sometimes that could change the pitcher's approach. So far, he doesn't seem to be too affected here in this hitter.
Foul ball flutters its way just off the mark down that first base line, and again continuing to get ahead in most of these accounts has been Bettis. He's ahead here, 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Let's have some street drag racing going on out there, Joe.
Yeah, or somebody just stole my car. Note to self. This one is lifted. Will it stay in play? No, I know Logan on top of the dugout there is looking for a line drive that he could just stick that one hand off and flash the leather and make a save on the camera work.
Logan might want to keep that head on a swivel over there.
He had some Andover High School varsity time. But I believe he's a southpaw, so he's looking for that right-handed glove to work it there, throwing over, trying to keep that runner close here with 2 outs. Maybe Bruce gets the second, and no, he will not get the second because punched out at home on a called third strike is Stoik. And the Aces are retired after 2 completed remains. A 1-0 lead for Centennial.
saw you on a Legion field.
Back here for the top half of the third inning, and Rocco comes right back out again for his third inning, and it looks like he's really honing in that strike zone. You're seeing the breaking pitch and the fastballs all kind of hitting their spots now, John.
Well, so far what I'm seeing, when might have been a little adrenaline going early on, might have been a little amped up, but I tell you, when he gets that ball down, I like the movement that he's got. He got some nasty snap on that breaking ball. And problem is he's seen a lot of left-handed hitters. You get a right-handed hitter and you drop that nasty breaking ball on the back foot, and that's a tough pitch to handle.
There's a call out. There's some of the fans coming here joining us. You get a good look here.
Those are the high-dollar seats down there.
Those are high buck, and they have no security down there, by the way, as well. So just a note to self. Flipping the lineup over here is Centennial, as Kleiber, who led off this game with a double, gets his second look here at Rocco. We'll see what adjustments Rocco will make as Kleiber was up there swinging right away last at bat. This one the same, but this time hands drop below the ball. That's a fly out to first, and Sam Kleiber retired here in the top half of the third.
That's what I call a courage pitch right there. He misses high with a fastball, then he comes back in, 1-0 count, top of the order. He takes something off of it and throws a nice little off-speed pitch, gets him out front. That's a great job.
Excellent job. Got the hands below the ball that time, did Kleiber, and now Stoffecker steps in. Stoffecker had a single. He went to second on the throw home, in which Kleiber scored, and now a ground out to second in time. Stoik has that. And quickly retired. Now with two down, here is Centennial.
There's that movement I was talking about here a minute ago. That ball just ran right in on his hands. Had to fight that thing off. Easy play for the second baseman.
Bryson Mose, the catcher. Gets a look here as he walked his first time up. When he walked, and that moved runner had runners in at first and second with no outs. And one run had already crossed for Centennial. That was Kleiber, who scored on the single by Stoffecker. Breaking a bender that time. Beautiful pitch. Quickly up 0-2, and I'll tell you, he's throwing with some conviction right now is Rocco.
Yeah, he's night and day difference from that first inning.
This one's popped up. Hustling over, trying to make the play at first, and finally gathering it up. Nice job by Abbas.
Yeah, like I said, you don't want to give up on one with this wind. You want to try to sprint to the ball and adjust rather than drift. But great job by Sam battling that wind.
A clean inning that time for the Huskies. In fact, their second consecutive clean inning. Last 7 hitters, have been retired by Rocco as we go to the bottom of the third, and the Aces are going to try to put something across here. I'd asked Sam Plohas before the game. I said, hey, is there a game? What was the best game you've seen from the Aces this year in the season? What made it great? And he said, there are a couple of that came to mind, but you'd have to say a 5-4 win over Forest Lake. We were facing a tough pitcher and had some bad luck with some weird bounces and down a couple of different times, but battled back to get that win.
Well, there's an old saying that sometimes as a team you have to learn how to win. And you get in some of those tough games, those tough one-run games, you get yourself behind. This game of baseball is a crazy game. I've seen a lot of times where you could just pack it up and head home and take the loss. But if you just keep your head down, keep fighting, funny things happen. So,
hey, adversity is the greatest path to success. And I'll tell you, you learn from those losses and you learn from winning those close ones. I know he says they've had so many close one-run games this year. But you learn how to compete, that mindset during those close ones, and it's like a shift of the season. Last year, the first year that the Aces had made the state tournament for town ball, and I don't want to jinx them, but they certainly seem to be on a path to returning this season as well. Leading off now here for this bottom of the third inning is Berg. Sam Berg. A 240 hitter. Takes a swing at that first pitch. What do you think they're seeing up there, John, that they're waving at that first pitch, or at least that pitch that looks up a little bit high?
That would look to me like a little bit of a baby breaker. And there's another one.
Maybe a cutter, perhaps?
Yeah, I think what you got here is a guy who, like I said, he's working at a quick tempo. He seems to be throwing with a ton of confidence. And when you're challenging hitters in the zone, that's a handful.
This one's lifted straight back on the foul. And
I think what the Aces are going to need to do here again, there's no question he's around the zone. I think you got to come up there looking first pitch strike. And, hey, if he fools you on that first one, you tip your hat, and then you just kind of shorten up.
that one misses outside. As mentioned, the manager, Joe Zazeski, said, he really does have 4 pitches. Some say they have 4. He's definitely takes ownership on each one of those pitches. And fastball, cutter, slider, and a change. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Berg, the first hitter here in the bottom of the third, gets out of the way of that one. We'll move to a full count.
If I was a betting man right here, and I'm not, but if I was full count after coming up and in, I wouldn't be surprised to see a breaker here.
Grounds out to short in time across the infield for the out. Looked like that may have been an outside breaking pitch.
Yeah, that's what
Just
you call
beat into the ground.
That's what you call unfair. You come up and in on a guy, and then you turn around and just paint it black, low and away, and hitters kind of have to try to just survive up there. Again, this Pettis kid looks real strong right now.
Jake Domovic steps in now for the Aces, a shortstop, 288 hitter, 8 runs this season, 12 walks, and an on-base percentage of .370. Quickly down in the hole here, 0-2 as Boyd Pettis is on thus far. Another breaking pitch. Falls off to the right side of the first base line. It remains 0-2. Aces will flip their lineup to Waddell, the leadoff hitter.
Well, I'll tell you, confidence is a funny thing. This young man looks like he's got no shortage of that. And you start working ahead and you have some success like this, and it just exponentially grows. So he's on a roll right now.
Swung on and missed. Boy, he packed up the heat and brought it on that pitch into location. Made it that much more difficult.
I think he forgot he needed 3 outs, though.
Yeah, I was funny because maybe he read my mind. I was thinking that same thing. So, second strikeout is what I have of the game here for Pettis, and we go to the leadoff hitter, Mr. Waddell, Carson Waddell. Like his first at bat, took a swing at that one. He flew out his first time.
Yeah, Carson's probably not your prototypical leadoff guy. He's aggressive at the plate. I mean, he's going to come up looking for a pitch. Probably the right kind of hitter for this kind of pitcher.
Swung on and missed there. I understand. Hey, Waddell, and also just down to the right from us, Josh Stoll. They play the same location, same school in Iowa, correct?
Yes, sir. They're down at Grand. You got a base hit there.
That's all we needed to do was talk about Josh Stoll, and he got the hit. Inspired. A knock there for Waddell. So with 2 outs, keep in mind you have Waddell at first, who leads the team in stolen bases with 16. Get him to second, and a knock by Plohas, and you have this thing tied up here, bottom of the third.
Dude, I think if you're Sam here, runner at first might change a little bit his desire to want to throw a breaking ball. You got a fastball there. I think I'd be looking for that. He misses with a breaking ball here, and all of a sudden you get that tying run at second. So if I'm Sam, I'm looking for some fastballs here.
Pettis does a great job. Consistent arm slot, stays on top of the ball. Plohas, a very strong hitter. 10 RBIs this season.
Great job by the catcher digging that one out of the dirt, holding that runner at first.
He's done that a couple of times. especially with Bruce on first last inning. Quick throw over. Wow.
Had Carson leading a little bit there. That makes you wonder if he might try to get one here.
Better if you can get a breaking pitch to steal on. There's a knock to short. Boblin's going to have to make the throw to first. Does! Gets him by a half a step, unleashing a laser from short. Centennial, and they retire the Aces here in the bottom of the third with one left on base. 3 complete. It's still a 1-0 lead for the Centennial Cougars. Welcome back here to the 4th inning. Joe Rulin along with John Heath and QCTV. So we get a look here at a 1-0 lead for Centennial. Andrew Rocco on the mound. Impressive high school season at Champlain Park. And spent a year also last year in Creighton. And that speaks volume with that program as well. The number 4 hitter here in the pitcher is Ethan Pettis, leading off for Centennial. Pettis reached on a fielder's choice. There were runners at first and second with no one out. And he hit a hard shot to Waddell. Waddell flashed a little leather, made the save, and forced a runner from second out at third. This one's lifted to center field. DeLong has it dialed in, and that's the first out recorded here on the fly out to center here in the 4th. And you're seeing Rocco mixing things up, but throwing with a lot more confidence here in this 4th inning.
Just a ton more. And, again, just night and day. I can tell you, as a hitter, and I did a little bit of both. I hit and pitched, but, boy, as a hitter, you get ahead in the count. It makes this game a whole lot easier.
Cooper Anderson now gets the look. Tries to put the bunt down, pushes it down the third base line. Waddell charges in, makes a nice throw, but not in time. That was a precision-like bunt as he saw Waddell a little bit back behind the bag. And Anderson, I love the bunt, power of the bunt, right? And he reaches that time. Waddell did everything possible, including coming up with a dime to first as he was moving it up. Picked it up barehanded and threw across the field, just missed it.
Well, there's not much more Carson could have done with that. Yeah, if you're a hitter, you probably couldn't drop that ball any more perfectly if you dropped it with your hand down there.
Thempke steps in here, and you got to appreciate that because they really haven't been hitting Rocco well the last 3 innings. So he had retired his last 8 hitters. So good idea by Anderson, and he converts on that bunt down the third base line. At first now with Thempke. Thempke ended that first inning with a ground out to Stoichkey at second. His first time up. Barstool swing that time by Thempke as kind of got fooled but kept that rear back and took the swing at an outside pitch. A strikeout. Another here, number 4 here for Rocco on the evening. 2 down, and that'll bring up Burley. High pitch.
Let that one go just a little early. That breaking ball kind of hung up there, didn't give it a chance to break. Got a feeling he's going to come right back with a good pitch right here.
Burley struck out his first time up and throw back over. This pitch down the right field line. It'll be tough to get to.
Well, I'll tell you what, Joe, that bunt that we just saw, that's a lost art. And I tell you, we had a young man at Andover, graduated not this last spring before, Patty Kelly, and I can tell you right now, I tracked the stats. That young man increased his batting average by 100 points just by mastering that drag bunt. He was a magician.
You know, it puts the pressure on the defense. You don't see a lot of it in the MLB, and they'll say because we're not compensated to bunt. But rarely can they put one down that confident like that.
Well, I tell you, if you think about it, how demoralizing is a defense when you're sitting there and a guy comes up and he just drops one down and there's nothing you can do. I mean, it's just a free base, and it can really take the oomph right out of a defense.
This finds the hole in between short and third by Burley, and base knock. So now runners with first and second with 2 outs, and Centennial has some things going, and Michael Murray steps in. Murray, last time up, struck out.
But I tell you, that right there is a great piece of hit, and that pitch was inside. It was a great pitch by Rakow there, and just got his hands through and found the hole there, found that 5-6 hole. That was a great job of hitting.
This the number 8 here, Murray. It's always nice to start off that next inning with a number 9 hitter. If you're that pitcher. Fastball here blazes one right by Murray. That fastball had some get up and go to it, John.
Well, it kind of makes you wonder if that catcher's holding on to his bat back there. He's a little late on that one.
Dialogue playing a little in. Looks like that wind still blowing in from center field. Maybe trying to cut off anything short or to the gap there. So 1 ball, 1 strike with 2 outs here. Top half of the 4th. Centennial trying to extend their 1-0 lead. Beautiful block and pick up there by Burke. Berg that time moving over.
Well, I'll tell you, I think if I'm Rakow right now, the way this guy's demonstrated a difficult time catching up with you, I don't think I'm messing around right here. Go right at this guy. You definitely want to get this out.
Runners at first and second. If Berg didn't block that, they would easily be runners. At second and third, there's a pitch. It's called the ball, 3-1. He was in that cadence, kind of in that flow. I won't say the bunt took him out of that flow, but it certainly kind of changed the complexion here in this inning. Coming inside and now struggling to find that zone again. So bases are juiced for the number 9 hitter, Kornowski, Logan Kornowski.
Hey, we got a mound visit here, and probably a good time for that. You know, to your point, Joe, I think that bunt may have had a little bit of an impact there. I think this is just a conversation to take a deep breath, kind of regain that composure, come right at this guy. You definitely don't want to give in here. And probably just also setting that defense and reminding them, hey, guys, let's just set it. We got 2 outs. Let's set our feet, make a play. Let's get out of this thing.
Well, you just need to take that cycling of pitching kind of out of that cadence, right, and take a couple of deep breaths. I mean, it's not humid up here. It might be on the field. But
well, I tell you,
I'm not going to cut the weight. I thought I was here tonight, but it's comfortable up here, but I'm sure.
Sometimes as a coach, you in that situation on a mound visit, you want to make sure you've got a good joke in your back pocket, kind of break the ice out there a little bit.
Kornowski, 0 for 1. And there's a pass ball. See if they can get there to cover. Gets a spring hop, but not enough off that backstop, and a runner advances home. So a 2-0 lead. A 2-out situation here, and they put one across. And in fact, Anderson, who led off the inning with the bunt, is awarded by scoring that run. 2-0 for Centennial, and now runners at second and third and 1 out.
Tough way to give one up there. You'd sure like to see these guys have to earn one. Another one.
Inside again. It looks like that may have hit the hitter, but no. Close to hitting Kornowski, and then went off the inside part of the glove there of Berg. So 2 pitches and 2 runs, and the ball has yet to leave the infield.
Yeah, I think you had the first one there that got by Berg. I think that's fair to say that's a wild pitch. That second one, I think, just handcuffed him. It's like it hit him in the glove. But to your point, Joe, that was inside pretty tight, and he just didn't glove it cleanly.
Set up here. 3-0 lead, a crooked number put up here by Centennial, and there's a called strike. Murray, who took the walk here with 2 outs and loaded the bases, now at third after the 2 pass balls. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Rocco delivers this one. Down the line, Abbas. I lost track of him, couldn't tell. Now we're waiting for him to resurface. There he is. It's a foul ball, so unable to come up with it there. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Good news is they pick up a strike, so it's 2-2 with 2 outs and 2 across. 2s are wild here in the 4th.
Well, Sam's walking back, and there's no hole in the fence, so that tells me good things are happening down there.
Okay, cool. Thanks. That's another hit. Waddell going to cut it off. Tries to make the throw. Cannot. As pulling him off the bag that time. It was just that hiccup. That was such. It was just one of those hits that kind of take you off of balance as a fielder.
Yeah, he bobbled that thing a little bit. Just didn't field it cleanly. If he does, I think we get him. Just bobbled it a hair just enough to get him home safe. So.
But I think even if he had that on a clean throw, he was going to probably make it to first safely.
He was. Yeah, he was. It's just the bobble, just on the exchange, just not handling that ball cleanly. Throw was fine. It was just a little delayed.
3 runs across, all with 2 outs here for Centennial in this 4th inning. And the number 9 hitter, Karnowski, picks up the infield single.
These left-handed hitters might be seeing something down there at third base. That's another attempt there at showing a drag bunt.
This is Kleiber, Sam Kleiber. Doubled his first time up. Fly out to first, his second at bat. That had some spunk. Caught looking on that, punched out on a called 3rd strike is Kleiber. And top half of the 4th, Centennial is retired, and not before they put up a crooked number, and they put up 3. All with 2 outs.
It looks like Rakow decided he's going to take matters into his own hands, that last hitter. He just reared back 3 pitches, went right at him.
Yeah, a different mindset. That's what the mindset I think we saw in that 2nd and 3rd inning.
It is.
And just didn't have it. I'll tell you, joke, but it's the power of the bunt. What I would coach too is always, it changes the cadence, it changes the look, puts pressure on the defense. Even though there was no one on, it was still kind of changed the complexion of that inning.
It does, and now more than ever, I mean, you're sitting here now, bottom of the 4th. You got to try to at least get 1 on the board here if you're the Aces. You know you're going to see this guy in the strike zone. You know he's coming at you. Probably don't want to sit back being tentative and let him get ahead of you. You let him get ahead of you, he looks like he can really do some damage.
Number 5 warming up. Warming up in that bullpen, I believe Austin was giving me the info. It looked like Charlie Hora for the Aces. But we go to the 4th here, and I'll bring up the number 3 hitter and Tyler Brick. A DH. Brick is first time up. Fly out to center. Right-handed hitter. Played high school ball at Coon Rapids. College ball at Hamlin takes a swat and a quick fly out on the foul ball side. There's both first base and Brick. And the Aces are retired. Pitch count has been minimized here for Bettis as he's been able to get them taking some early swings in the count. Abbas steps in. Abbas takes that first pitch and goes right up the middle.
That's kind of the approach you're looking for right there with Sam, you know, and the Aces, they're not looking at a lot, especially first pitch. I mean, they're up there getting their hacks. It's just a matter of when you get your pitch, you got to do something with it. Sam does a real nice job there, just taking that right back up the middle. Need to string 2 or 3 together here.
Dylong steps in. Grounded to short his first time up. Owen Dylong, 288 hitter, 8 RBIs, slugging percentage of .305.
Here you got that big hole to the right side. Ooh, not going to put that one the other way. Big hole to the right side here, though. Second base is really cheating the middle, so you get a pitch outside half. This would be a great time if you're a hitter. Just go ahead and smoke one through that right side there and see if we can move him around.
Pettis tried to lock up Dylan that last pitch inside. This one's a good-looking pitch and called a strike. 2-1. And quickly towing the rubber again is Pettis. The fielders have to love this. Throw over, back in time. You think Abbas is going to go?
If the ball's at the backstop, he might take a shot.
There you go. I don't see any stolen bases in the portfolio here this season for Abbas.
No, and I kid with Sam a little bit. I love him. I tell you, I had a chance with him his senior year. Gives you everything you could ever ask for. He's going to work real hard for you. Stolen bases, not high on the list.
3-1 and just missing off the plate. Wow, that didn't miss by much.
No, and I tell you, again, really good at bat. Right now it's about getting base runners. Pettis did miss by much, but good look there. And
that's the first walk that Pettis has given up here this evening.
You got a dangerous hitter right here.
That it does. Benji Bruce, the right fielder. First pitch. This is lifted.
That could be trouble. Oh.
To right. Waiting to see if it was just going to carry out there as the right fielder rings that in. 1 and done for Bruce on his at-bat.
Didn't look like he got a great jump, but he made a nice adjustment, kept coming hard, make a good play on that ball. Like I said, if you've never had to chase a ball down in the outfield, you get this kind of a win. It is not as easy as some of these guys make it look.
Connor Stoik will give it a go here. He struck out his first at-bat in the second inning. Stoik with a triple earlier this season. Pettis starting to bear down now and getting back to hitting those spots on the corner. Kind of dotting the I at the end of those corners. Here we go. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. Aces trying to get something going and trying to counter after a 3-spot put up in the 4th inning by Centennial.
Yeah, he's really pounding that outside corner out there. And again, you see what the second baseman's playing as a right-handed hitter. You get one outside half, you got a hole out there. You're just going to have to adjust if he comes under your hands. There it is.
It off the handle. Is he going to bust through? Oh. Getting over, make the play. And, errant throw. Good job on the coverage there. Getting over to make the play at second, but an errant throw kind of right into the base path, and a run is scored here with 2 outs. And Abbas comes around to score the first run of the night here for the Aces.
Grease lightning.
It's called manufacturing that run, right? And I think by the time he was going to get up and make that throw, it was going to be a hit anyway. But
Well, I've said many times, Joe, I'm not a proud man. I'd take that all day long if they'll give it to me.
Curveball just off the plate, a throwdown with the runner at third, thinking about going, but now getting back is Die Long. Thought about it for a couple of steps, then locked up the brakes, Fred Flintstone-like, and stopped on the dime and got back to third. But runners at second and third, and a single here by Berg could help the cause.
Should be a good pitch to hit here. Good eye. This is a great time to capitalize right here. 2 outs, 2 balls, 2 in scoring position.
Good pitch. I couldn't make out. What do you think that pitch was?
That looked like a fastball out there on that outside corner. Yeah.
He wasn't about to give in on anything dead red here. 2 balls, 1 strike. There's a pitch straight back. It looks like he's kind of getting back to business with the fastball right now.
Yeah, that's just Pettis challenging the hitter and Berg just not getting cheated on that swing.
Wind has been consistent. Now it feels like it's picking up the velo of that wind anyway from center field. It's parting my hair, John.
Yeah, I got the same problem, Joe.
Swung on and missed. He comes back with a breaking pitch just out of the strike zone. Going down swinging is Berg, leaving runners at second and third, but they get one across to the Aces and cut into this 4-0 deficit to make it 4-1 after 4 complete. For Donnelly.
Rebels here at home. They could have some home games.
Scores!
3 touchdowns, all to Masuku. He's got 1 on the ground. What a great catch. Look at that.
Top of the face-off circle. She sends one low. Save is made. Follow-up shot. Score by Max. Whether or not that's
Great look at a goal! Anoka! He gets through. You see right there, has Bernovic with a shot.
We are back here to Castle Field on the night. Felt like humidity. Felt like maybe I might be cutting some weight. Just more some, personal gain, John, more than anything else.
Well, Joe, I'll tell you this. If you lose it, I'm going to find a way to find it.
I might have something on my doorstep, I'm guessing. At that, but we'll set here. We go to the 5th. And Centennial put up 3 in the 4th. Andover countered with 1 of their own, but it's a 4-1 lead. As they bring in the number 2 hitter, here is Stoffecker. Stoffecker singled his first time up. An RBI that brought in Kleiber. And then grounded to second his second time up.
A lot of lefties in this Centennial lineup. Not terribly uncommon to see 1 or 2, but to see this many, that's unusual.
Are you saying they're wrong-handed?
Rare. How's that?
Oh, that's all right.
Rare.
Hey,
Not quite unicorn-like.
I would
rare.
throw right. I would bat left.
The only thing I do left-handed is right left-handed, and if I have to reach too far, I can't shoot pull left-handed.
Pitch misses on the outside part of the plate. You saw Rocco just kind of come back to end that inning against Kleiber with, kind of a look of anger, conviction on those pitches. Let's see if he comes back. And he had retired 8 straight hitters. He was really in control and command of those pitches.
I really like his tempo right there. That ball just flew out of his hand. So when he gets himself set and gets his timing right, he's a handful.
Ground ball to short. Domovich has it, makes the play, scoop there by Abbas to make the play. 6-3, keeping score at home as Domovich makes that play. Domovich also Played college ball at Hamlin. Got some of that nice insight before the game by Tyler Brick.
And a real nice play of Sam looking that ball in. You know, Sam's also a catcher by trade. He spent some time behind the dish, so he's used to digging some balls out.
Brylan Mose, the catcher. Talking to him before the game because I had thought I had mentioned his name a couple times. We had covered some stuff with a section wrestling championship, and I remember that name. And he said, yeah, I did. I didn't play basketball my senior year and decided to wrestle. And went after it. So that was it.
And a catcher.
Mm-hmm. Kind of goes down that path, doesn't it?
Tells you right there on both counts, you got to be half crazy to be a wrestler and a catcher. Uh-oh.
This one hit on the screws deep to left over the head of Plohoff. That makes it to the fence, and I'll tell you, he squared up on that pitch and took it to the fence and over the head of left fielder Sam Plohoff. So a runner on second. That's probably one of the hardest hit balls of the night I've seen.
Yeah, wind or no wind, that ball's getting out there in a hurry. It was going to take a hurricane to knock that one down.
And that brings up the number 4 hitter, Ethan Pettis. Pettis 0 for 2 on a fielder's choice in the first. Reached and a fly out to center with 2 outs. With 1 out and a runner on second. Swung on and missed there.
And he has had some real good swings, so this guy looks to me like he could be a little dangerous in this situation. I think if you're...
He hits like he pitches, right? Full throttle all the time.
Well, he looks like he ain't missing too many meals either.
Delivery here, and this one's lifted to center. Dylong looks like he has that measured, getting ready to tag or at least draw the throw. Was Mose, he did that. Fly out for the second time tonight by Pettis to center field, and now with 2 outs will come Anderson. Cooper Anderson. Mose stays at second. But you still want to see that throw, maybe get him to throw it away, but good controlled situation there. Anderson 1 for 2. A bunt single his last time up.
If you're a pitcher, this is a little different here, Joe. You got 2 outs and a base open. I mean, you want to go at the hitter. You've also got a little latitude here to maybe take him on a fishing trip.
Good pitch there. Fastball that looked like it tailed back over the plate.
Yeah, like I said, when he gets his timing right, he's really, he can locate. He's got some pop coming out of there, and he's got some real nice movement on his pitches.
1 ball, 1 strike, and swung on and missed that time. So when you're coaching pitching, do you find yourself favoring maybe a 2-seam or a 4-seam fastball for a pitcher, or does it depend on the arm slot?
It depends. I like a 2-seam. I like it more. It's close. Yeah, I like it, Joe. I like running a 2-seamer if you're a lefty against a right-handed hitter. I like starting that thing off on the outside third and see if you can catch a corner and get him chasing. But it only takes a little bit of movement. It doesn't have to be big. A little bit of movement is the difference between being on the barrel and being on the fist.
Rocco, the 2-2 delivery. Swung on, looks like a close play at first. Stoik gets it. Sneaky fast was Anderson that time as he kind of waved the wand and put a weak ground ball to second. Stoik got the gobbled up on the ground ball and made a quick snap throw to first just in time to get Anderson, and Centennial is retired in their half of the 5th.
You know, and there's that situation again where 2 outs, open base, kind of got the luxury as a pitcher, kind of throw your pitch, and he did a real nice job kind of snapping off a little off-speed breaking ball there, got the hitter out front, and a nice little easy ground ball to second base.
This Aces squad is playing Centennial, so they're going to play them twice in the next few days since they have a rain-out makeup with them, and they'll play them again on Monday. They have another tough game coming up against the Low Gators on Sunday as well. Low Gators, again, currently undefeated in the Metro Minnie, and a mark of 28-11. Low Gators have scored 209 runs and allowed 124. Meanwhile, the Aces this season, they've crossed the plate 148 times and only surrendered 112 runs. For Centennial, 115 runs scored and 110 surrendered, as Pettis takes the ball here in the bottom of the fifth, and a 4-1 lead for Centennial.
When you look at those numbers for the Low Gators, and what it suggests to me is they put the bat on the ball, they got some pitching, and they play a little defense. And, you know, I had a college coach tell me once, if this game was easy, everybody would be playing it. I've said many times, it's not an easy game, but it is simple. You throw strikes, you make plays, you put the bat on the ball, usually good things are happening. It looks like those guys have figured that formula out.
Set here as the Aces will bring up their number 9 hitter, Jake Demovic. Demovic with a strikeout his first time up, and he's down in the count 0-1. There's one thing that's been consistent, has been that wind from center field. I haven't seen that flag rest all night.
No, it's right straight at us.
Both center fielders kind of cheating in just a bit. Swung on and missed, but keeping it alive on that tip is Demovic.
I'd say the next most consistent thing to that flag is Pettis throwing first pitch strikes.
Mm-hmm. True.
He
gives you a lot of options as a pitcher.
He doesn't look to me like a kid just came out of high school this spring. I can see why UMD is pretty happy to have him.
There's a base knock for Demovic, coming in, hitting 288. He hit that one solid. Got the pitch he looked. Maybe a breaking pitch here to drive that to left field, and a leadoff single.
But I'd say you can get that out of your number 9 hitter to lead you off. You can't ask for much more than that. You get that leadoff hitter in the 9 hole. Now you got your top half here. This is the time they got to try to make magic happen.
That's the first leadoff hitter of the night to reach for the Aces, and now the number 1 hitter, Waddell, steps in. Waddell with a single knock his last time up, and he came around to score. I stand corrected, he did not. It was Abbas who scored in the previous inning. Finds his spot. We were talking a little bit earlier about the program in Iowa, where Waddell and, of course, Josh Stowe will be going, and swung on, and this could find a gap. No, it'll find a center fielder's glove.
Yeah, that Grandview program down in Des Moines, it's an NAIA program. Had a ton of success in recent years. Had at least one appearance at the College World Series in the last couple of years. Doug Brinker down there is a White Bear Lake guy. Was an assistant coach for years, took over as the head coach recently, and he's done a heck of a job with that program.
Faking the bunt there, Plohaas. He's 0 for 2.
So you bring that third baseman in a little bit. You got your shortstop playing up the middle. That opens up that hole to the left side.
Fouled straight back. Missed that, not by much, did Plohaas. 10 RBIs this season. Couple of doubles, 9 runs, and 10 walks. On base percentage of .333. As he looks here on the pitch from Pettis. Fakes the bunt, comes inside. And I will say, you know, for one, I've never been a fan of somebody who stands with the bat out long before that delivery to the pitch, because there's not going to surprise anyone. Plohaas there at the last minute. Squared around, and I think that startled Pettis. Swung on and missed that one upstairs.
Well, and I'm not so sure that he's not squaring around for a hit, to be honest with you.
Right.
So,
correct.
Yeah, to your point, even on a sacrifice, I'm not a huge fan of squaring too early.
That takes that element of surprise out of it. Just enough to startle that pitcher. Fouled straight back. Good at bat.
Well, it's not a bad thing to kind of run that pitch count up a little bit here on Pettis. He's been pretty efficient so far.
Yeah, you know, the percentages in all the analytics, you get to about 6 pitches, you increase your probability for a hit. I have him right now at a 70% probability for a hit.
Look at that.
Look at that I just called. Yahtzee.
Joe, it's almost like you've seen this game played before.
Good job that time. Kept his hands behind the hips that time and floated it out. Nice job by Plohas. A key hit here. Now runners at first and second. And the Brick House steps in. Tyler Brick, the DH.
He is appropriately named. This young man is put together.
11 RBIs. Good time for one here.
Oh.
Down, throw down, and it
There we
gets
go.
away. Ball goes into right field after a pickoff attempt. Trying to get in behind Plohas that time. And the first baseman did not square up on that one.
You know, to be honest with you, a good throw there, you probably got a chance. However, in this situation with a 3-run lead middle of the game here, and you got a pitcher that's doing a really good job on the mound, that might not have been the best decision to make.
Kind of take him out of that funk. But he comes right back. Something about that pitch on the outside part of the plate that's got some velo on it, combined with the location. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Now Pettis delivers with 2 on, and Brick sends this one to right field. Deep to right field. He'll get the sacrifice, the RBI, and scoring. Demovic.
Well, again, Plohas drawing that throw down there. That gets you that run. That gets you that scoring position, deep fly ball. Great job of manufacturing one. You still got a duck on the pond out there. You live to get across. And nice thing with Abbas coming to the plate, he's going to put the bat on the ball. He don't strike out much.
12th RBI of the season there for Tyler Brick. Swung on and missed. Abbas on that cut. Mentioned a single his last time up, and he came around to score. The first run of the game for the Aces. Focused, and the surgical location there of that pitch again by Pettis. He's up 0-2.
Yeah, it looked like he took a little something off that last pitch. Here he just climbed the ladder, and the dangerous part for the hitter, he just took a little something off that pitch before. Now he's climbed the ladder, and now you got your hands full. So.
Swung on and missed by Abbas. Strands. Plohas, the runner at third, but the Aces keep chipping away. They come across with another run here, and they trail 4-2 after 5 complete. We'll return with the 6th in just a moment. Welcome back here to the 6th. Joe rolling along with John Heath. Austin also doing a great job of having us spot up. It looks like we may. Trying to see if they have the same pitcher through the netting.
No, that looks like Charlie Hora just coming on here. Another lefty out of Andover.
Austin told me he was warming up. Joe, he's coming in anytime, and there he goes. He's coming in to face Themke, Burley, and Murray.
Charlie's one of those COVID kids that was a senior in 2020, had his senior year taken away from him. Had the privilege of coaching Charlie for a couple of 2-3 years, both as a youth player and as a high school player at Andover. Got good movement. Charlie's one of those guys, personality-wise, Joe. Sometimes you got to take his pulse. He doesn't get too high, doesn't get too low. He just kind of one of those guys you say is in chill mode.
Charlie's thrown 7 1/3 innings so far this season. ERA 4.76, but opponents hitting just .091 against Hora. He has struck out 11, walked just 3. This pitch lifted to short. Domovic has it, takes a step back, and retires. Themke for that first out.
Yeah, what I would anticipate out of Charlie here, and you saw a little bit of it there, he's going to have some good movement. He's got good life and good movement on that fastball. Going to have a nice breaking ball, and there was a time he had a heck of a changeup. We'll see if he still got that.
I believe he was pitching at Gus Davis.
That is correct.
Did those 4 years go by already? Do I feel old? But it's not about me. It's about Charlie on the mound. Back to Joe in the studio. There's a line drive. Finds its way between short and third. Gathered up by Plohos. And the second knock in as many at-bats for Burley. Murray steps in, the number 8 hitter. He drew a walk his last time up.
If they've been taking any notes in that Aces dugout, this young man seems to have struggled a little bit with the fastball.
First pitch offering again.
That's what Charlie did. He went after him there a little late, so that seems to be the book on 12 here tonight.
The book on Rocco had him 6 strikeouts, just a couple of walks. Good pitch there. Pulled the string out in front. 0-2 now with 1 out.
We'll see if somewhere in the back of Charlie's head is the whispers of ghosts from the past in high school. See if he throws an 0-2 fastball out. Oh, wow.
Oh, that's tough. As Berg was on the wrong end of that foul tip.
It's the old saying, Joe, don't answer the phone. That ain't what's ringing.
That's right. Good timing here to slowly walk out a couple of fresh balls there. Off the melon that time. Ugh.
Hats off to number 12. He's equal opportunity. He got a piece of the catcher and the umpire on that one.
A 2-for-1. 0-2. Swung on, miss, and a strikeout for Hora. His first strikeout victim of the night. And now that brings up the number 9 hitter, Kornowitz. Kornowski singled his last time up. Fastball down the middle of the plate there by Hora.
Charlie's running it up there pretty good here. He's definitely got some pop coming out of the hand there.
Good pitch there. Almost looked like a back foot breaking ball.
Sometimes you call that the now you see it, now you don't pitch.
Right.
Houdini.
0-2 the count now, and this one's drilled. One hopper to short, quickly get in there. Domovic quickly getting it over to Stoik at second for the force out. And just like that, it's Centennial retired here in the bottom of the top half of the 6th. So Aces chipping away at one time, down 4-0. They've cut that deficit in half, Jim, as we go to the bottom of the 6th.
Here comes Pettis again for Centennial. Why not? I mean, this guy's been on point all night long. I don't think we've seen any activity in the bullpen, and not real sure where his pitch count's at, but I would suspect here, bottom of the sixth, if I was to make an educated guess, 45, 60, he's probably around the mid-70s, give or take 5. Still
4
probably
strikeouts thus far for Bettis. He's just walked 1.
I would suspect he's got at least 1 or 2 more in him before they'd have to consider making a change.
Throw down here, and it's Huskies, excuse me, the Aces rather, will bring up their center fielder, Dai-Long. Dai-Long looking to get things going here, as singled his last time up. Came in hitting at a 288 clip.
Oh, here's the other one you might have not seen.
Getting
Look
your
out.
third look around.
Flaming piano.
I saw another UMD pitching last week for the Low Gators. And the deep ground ball to third. That's a quick release. Oh, and a tag to get him by a half a step.
That's where if you're the third baseman, you're going to sprint right over to that first baseman and give him a kiss on the cheek for bailing you out on that one. That's a great play by the first baseman.
He did. Even at third, you know, it was a case that time. He just quickly got that out. He wanted that. It looked like it was a hot potato. He had to get it out of his glove and almost short-armed it, but made the play. Good tag, and the first runner is out. As I mentioned, the Aces have gone with just 1 inning so far where they've had the leadoff hitter on, and that was last inning on the single by Domovic.
Well, and Dai-Long got down the line real quick on that one. Puts pressure on that infield.
Swung on and missed here by Benji Bruce, 261 hitter. Bruce with a single his first time up, and then a fly out in his last. So they're getting their third look.
Yeah, Benji had a tough injury on this field here a couple years ago. Kind of a fluky thing out there playing the outfield. And a pretty tough fracture in his lower leg. Good to see him back. Tough kid.
Yeah, that sounds like on that path to the ball, a tough injury. Staying alive, keeping that pitch count up high.
And I remember Benji as a 13, 14-year-old, and you talk about somebody do anything you ask him to do, play any position, get on the mound for you. Just a great guy to have, great teammate. Played a couple years at Anoka Ramsey before I got there.
Stoik on deck here for the Aces. This going down the right field line and unable to get it. Now about his 7th pitch that Benji Bruce will see.
What are the odds here, Joe?
We're at the 7th. Typically, you're at about a 50% chance of a hit. He's gonna right now at about, I would say, 75% chance he'll get a hit at this at bat.
Right.
The probability, that is.
Oh.
I tried to quit while I was ahead. He swung on and missed. I'll have to go down and have a little talk with Benji. But strikeout number 5 on the evening for Pettis. And the second strikeout here this inning.
And again, that's where you got to tip your
excuse me.
hat to Pettis. I mean, that's just a filthy breaking ball, catching right on the corner.
Yeah, and to throw that with a 3-2 count
Yep.
shows you have a lot of confidence in that pitch.
Well, when you hit that spot, then here you go. You get that first pitch strike call right there. It looked like it might have been off the plate a little bit, but the ump gave it to him because he's demonstrating some command.
Maybe a pinch hitter here. I'm going through my list here. I have Stoik as.
Looks like Tyler Lou now.
There you go. 3-hopper to short. I think you're right. We have some of the aces here that'll correct us if it's not accurate here, but
Oh, Josh
you're right.
Stoll's,
Tyler Nunau was the hitter.
Josh Stoll's sitting right next to me. If I'm wrong, he'll punch me right in the rib cage.
That's it. I've seen a couple of those blows tonight. We are on in here in the 6th inning. Top half of the 6th here for squad, and coming out again will be Hora. So we're 6 complete. We'll return for the 7th, 4-2 lead Centennial.
The good news is, seeing your day, you have a transfer portal. I didn't have that. You know, and
We are back here in the bottom of the 7th, or excuse me, top half of the 7th. I'm trying to expedite the pace. The lights are on, ladies and gentlemen. The lights are on in the press box, that is, as we flip the lineup here, and Sam Kleiber, who led this game off with a double, then later scored.
I had my notes in Braille over here, Joe, and then they turned the lights on, and now I can see.
I've got vision. Easy vision. Top hitters here in the league. Hitting at .452. Graff from Forest Lake. One of those. Severson from Shoreview hitting at .443. This one, a 2-hopper to second. Good catch and release there. Throw out by Lunau, who's now playing second. Throw out there, 4-3. We're in the 7th inning. Kleiber now 1 for 4 on the evening. That brings up another lefty, Stoffecker, Garrett Stoffecker. Stoffecker singled in that first inning, got an RBI. He knocked in Kleiber from second. Since then, he has grounded to second and grounded out 6-3 in the 5th. Hora coming in for his 2nd inning of work.
I'm used to seeing Lou now over there at third. That's a little bit of a adjustment to get over to second base. He made a nice play on that ball. Looked like he took a little bit of a funny hop at the end on him there, but he stuck with it.
That second base spot takes a lot of footwork, doesn't it, to get yourself in position? Some agility.
It does. I mean, when you're down there at third base, that's, you know, there's not enough goalie hockey gear in the world for me to be down there.
The hot pocket.
Oh boy. I don't consider myself an attractive man, Joe, but I am too good looking to be down there at third base taking them in the chops.
Well, I always said you certainly were the Brad Pitt of Anoka County, the eye candy. Sure. I've got a trophy in the car, brought to you by Sterling Trophies. Coming up here, 1-2 misses outside. Hora not quite counts him. So knowing his background and you're coaching him, what kind of a pitch do you expect here after just seeing a breaking pitch?
I think 2-2. I think Charlie's going to come right at this guy here. He's got a pretty good fastball going. That was
swung
wrong.
on, lifted, got his hands underneath that breaking pitch. Fly out to center.
And that's why these guys on the bump are smarter than me up here in the booth, Joe.
So 2 out. You can just see, just for that split second, And you see it early on if you drop those hands below that ball and you get that pop out. So number 3 hitter Mose. Mose doubled his last time up. They could not get him across. He hit one over the head of the left fielder. Sam Plohos. Some great pitching to get out of that inning by Rocco. 1 ball, 1 strike.
You know, when you were asking earlier, Joe, you know, what kind of two-seamer, four-seamer, that's that two-seamer right there. Lefty going against a righty. Another one.
He battled him, came inside, really locked up the hitter, Mose, that time, and he flies out to second. And top half of the 7th, unable to do any damage or extend that lead from 4 to any more than 2 runs, was Centennial. As we look to see who's coming out for the bottom of the 7th, who do you think is coming out, John?
Well, if it's not Pettis, I'll be shocked.
Yep.
I didn't see any activity down there, but I mean, why wouldn't you?
He's kind of got that give me the ball mentality and mindset, doesn't he?
Well, he looks like the kind of guy, you know, if you've never seen the documentary on Nolan Ryan, Facing Nolan, there was a pitching coach of his when he was in the majors, and you know, back then there was no pitch counts. And pitching coach told the story. He looked over the manager. He says, I ain't going out there to take it out of his hands. You want to go talk to him? You know, because he knew he'd have his hands full with Nolan out there. So, yeah, this guy just looks to me like from the jump, right? He's been working at a quick tempo. He's going right at guy. He's really everything that I always felt like when I was coaching pitchers. That was the philosophy I always had, and that is, you know, we're coming at you, first pitch strikes. We're going to be prepared to throw any pitch, any count, and be in and around the zone, right? Quality pitches. If you're going to miss little, 6 inches in and out, up and down. And, yeah, this guy looks like there's no giving him.
It's kind of like trying to take Jack Morris out of the World Series game in that 10th inning. There was no one that was going to be able to take him out.
It's going to take more than one.
I also asked Sam Plohos, you know, seen the level of play across from some of the players as well. He actually called out the gentleman just down from us, Josh Stoll. And he said, Josh has taken a major step for us this season. And he went from an innings eater to one of the best pitchers in the league this season. So all around, we've had a lot of guys play really well and continually improve from last year and from game 1 this season. So
well, I could say this about Josh. He's sitting right next to me. I could say it to him because he knows I love him. Josh has got to run around in the shower to get wet. But there's nobody tougher on the mound you'd want to have. I mean, you give him the ball, and he is coming at you full throttle, and you got to love it. I mean, that's the kind of guy you want to surround yourself with. So.
Stepping in. Look here, Berg takes a swing, lifts this one to right field. Collected and out. On the fly out to right for Berg here in the 7th inning. So 1 down.
You know, this is one of those nights with that wind blowing in where ball gets up in the air just a little bit. A lot of these guys can make that play. So this is one of those where you're probably looking here to close this game out. You want a lot of line drives and ground balls.
This pitch holding back, a job by Domovic. Domovic singled his last time up and scored. This one's lifted to right. We've got a trend or a pattern here. These last 2 hitters gathered in, running it down in right field for that second out.
You know, a lot of times what I see in hitters, right-handed hitters, you know, when they're going to right field, they tend to kind of want to kind of lead with their forearm, if you will. I always kind of like to see them leading with the back of that bottom hand. Keep that front shoulder in, let that ball get a little deep on you, and try to get on top of that thing, cut it in half. I think that just gives you a much better chance to turn those into base hits.
Been Cooper Anderson, who's been busy out in right field these last 2. 1 ball, 1 strike now, and the leadoff hitter, Waddell, digs in. Waddell 1 for 3.
Hey, talk about a guy cutting weight. It might be that right field with all the runs around he's doing out there.
I think he needed to increase weight before the start of the game. But
might be making a stop by Jet Pizza on his own.
but he's done well. Had the nice bunt, came around and scored. Did Anderson, Cooper Anderson.
There we
Second
go.
knock of the game there for Waddell. Saw that well. He's going to try to stretch it to 2. Gets it. Beautiful hustle. Kind of kept the center fielder a little bit passive. Didn't see him. They weren't talking. And Waddell hit that second gear as he rounded first. And the third and the fourth gear on his way to second base to beat the tag. So a double for Waddell. He's 2 for 4.
But I'm going to tell you what, from the box, Carson was going for 2 there. You could see that right out of the box. There was no hesitation. That's the kind of aggressive base running you're used to seeing out of him. 2 outs, that's a big difference. You get a base hit here, that's the difference between scoring a run and not.
And you've got Plohas digging in. Singled his last time. Did Plohas for his 11th RBI. Followed by Brick, who picked up his 12th RBI. Following bat on a sacrifice fly to Anderson in right. Called strike there, ahead in the count.
Here's that bulldog mentality. He just gives up a guy stretching a single to a double, and he's right back out. I'm 0-2 here. Looks like we might try to climb the ladder. Yep.
He did. A couple of ladders.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tried to do some painting on the second story that time, but you're right. Waddell kind of has that igniter type of mindset as that leadoff hitter. May not have the numbers of the hitting percentage piece, but boy, you're right. He was off and running, trying to ignite an inning here for the Aces, thinking, hey, get the second, 1 knock, 1 pass ball, 1 in the spot to score, and now we're just down by 1. That's kind of the way Plohas and Kyle Hoppy, and speaking with both of them, that's kind of the mentality of the team this year. Might be down, but not out. 2s are wild here. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Plohas, base knock. Let's see if Waddell's going to score.
Yep.
Anderson misplays. It gets by. Plohas will go on to second and hold up there, and just like that, they're on to 3. No one's covering third. There's a pass ball. Finally getting in. Great hustle by Plohas. Never stop. It started with Waddell and his double. He scores on the single by Plohas. Plohas, his second consecutive hit, second consecutive RBI. And now.
But if you're watching, boy, I tell you what, you watch him right here. He just does a great job keeping his hands back, sitting back on that off-speed pitch and just driving it into right. Great job by Sam Plohas.
Misplayed that time by Anderson. As you could tell, maybe that ball got a little too close to the legs of the right fielder.
So now again, as a hitter here, you know, you got that tying run at third. That might change things a little bit for this pitcher. Might make him a little more hesitant on a breaking ball. We'll see.
Brickhouse takes a swing, goes straight back on that, picked up his 12th RBI, and his last at bat came in hitting .286. He's got Plohas at third. This is his 4th look of the game at Pettis.
Yeah, you know, you go back to Carson taking advantage of that extra base.
Oh, we got the truck hit tonight. That's 5 for the summer. Vegas had the over-under on that at 7 for the summer, so we've got a couple opportunities yet to allow that number to surface and pay off. Breaking pitch there, and good job of holding back 1 and 2.
They'll get a lot of courage by Pettis to throw that pitch in that situation, and when you got a catcher like Mo's back there knocking him down, you can throw that with a lot more confidence.
1-2 here, and Brick stays alive. Another foul ball. This 4th at bat for Brick versus Pettit. Let's see who will prevail here as the Aces in the 7th have cut the deficit to just 1 run. The tying run 90 feet away was Sam Plohas at third. Ground ball hit to third. Misplayed at third. And we've knotted at 4-4. Battling all the way back. That'll be an error, but nonetheless, A run-scoring tie by Plohos. And again, it started with 2 outs with Waddell, who got out of the box with some juice and vigor, made his way to second.
Well, I was going to say, you know, but when I was coaching, beginning of the year, I tell all the guys, I said, fellas, you just need to understand, I automatically think you're an Olympic sprinter. So get going, because we're going to run.
You're going to run.
You know?
Well, that run and that speed puts pressure on the defense. You can see that second hop. It was the second hop that ate it up. Throw down, pick off attempt. Brick will find his way at second base. Close again.
It was, and again, nice to draw that throw. There's a part of you that loves that Mo's behind the plate. His aggressiveness and his mindset reminds me of a Logan Myers out of Andover we've had before. But I tell you now, here you are. You got the go-ahead run at second, and you got Sam Abbas, who's might not have a high batting average. He's got a respectable batting average, but he's got a high percentage of making contact here.
I didn't get the number who's now in the pinch run for Brick, who advanced to second base, and Sam Abbas steps in. Abbas with a single in the third, and he scored. Hit to short, staying low, making the throw in time to get Abbas, and the Aces are retired in the 7th, but not before crossing 2 and putting up their first crooked number of the game to tie this up at 4-4 here in the bottom of the 7th. We'll return for the 8th. Just a moment.
Our mission is to engage the hearts, hands, and minds of the community to help animals. I really encourage people to consider adopting an animal because these animals, sometimes there's the perception that they're broken or there's something wrong with them, and that's not the case. These animals come to us for a variety of reasons. Maybe their family had to move and they couldn't take their pet with them. Maybe their owner died. Maybe they were a stray and they just got lost. There's a lot of reasons why animals come to us, and they all deserve love and a second family. And so I really encourage people to consider adoption. We have a variety of animals, all types of breeds, all types of ages. It's a really great place to come visit and just see if you find your next best friend. To learn more about Animal Humane Society and all the programs and services we offer, visit our website at animalhumanesociety.org.
The evening spectacular. That wind just circulates everything just right, blowing in from center field. We're going to the 8th. Joe Rulin along and joined by Austin Gibbs. Here's going to take it. Color commentary here, top half of the 8th for John Heath. And we're going here. Austin, you saw a nice comeback here by the Aces, down at 1.4-0, but they just dug in and got at it.
Oh yeah, it's a great night for baseball. It's a great game so far. Comeback game for the Aces.
Leading off is the number 4 hitter here in the pitcher, Ethan Pettis. Pettis having an 0 for night thus far, 0 for 3. A couple of flyouts to center and a fielder's choice. Hey, they're just trying to get the attention, the music, and they're back. Now we're set. On that first pitch, Hora in for his 3rd inning of work. He tries to get into the cadence here. After bouncing back, Austin, you saw this team, a gritty and kind of a battle-tested team, battle back from 4 down. Centennial's going to try to break this tie here, top half of the 8th with their number 4 hitter.
Or doing a good job coming in, pitching in relief, not giving up much for the Centennial Cougars.
Cougars and a first base knocking Hora to the mound there. He lasered one Looked like he took out his frustration from his previous 3 at-bats, with no hits, to lasering this one, and a leadoff single here for Centennial. Number 5 hitter is Cooper Anderson. Might be a good spot with a tied game here to maybe find his way with a bunt for Anderson. Laid a perfect bunt down in that 4th inning. You can see Waddell kind of taking a couple of steps in now at 3rd.
Looks like he was thinking about showing bunt and it just came inside on him. Didn't give him the chance to.
Did not. Pulled back just in time. Good location there. Mishandled by Hora. We talked about it before. Is that, hey, the power of the bunt, it's a different behavior for a fielder sometime. And as the game gets longer in the tooth, that field gets maybe a little wet. That time mishandled by Hora. A good bunt. Hey, getting it down. Wasn't the exact location, but it was put down in a spot where he had to go get it. And now, Austin, it's a chance here for Centennial, who is threatening with runners at 1st and 2nd and no outs here in the 8th.
Love to see a good bunt, putting the pressure on the defense, forcing them to make a play. Ace is unable to do so here.
Zimmerman looks like he is warming up in the pen for the Aces. Again, the Aces play the Centennial team again on Monday. And they play the Low Gators. I want to say it's 5 o'clock. Meets Matt Merrick and the crew. Breaking pitch there. Good location for Hora to come back and throw a dart.
Low Gators and Aces should be a good game. 2 of the top teams in the Metro Mini.
Yep, boy, correct. 1 and 2 in the Metro Mini. Another bunt. This put down, trying to get an out. Finally having to head to 3rd. Good job. Runners at 2nd and 3rd. They advance the runners. Themke that time put a beautiful bunt down. That's a tough thing to do. A lefty versus a lefty. And as that hitter, I've taken a couple in the chest when I've tried to bunt some down against a left-handed pitcher, and he put it down in a great spot. And getting the out, that's the key, though, for the Aces. Get the out. 2nd and 3rd. This one is swung on, lifted to shallow left. Plohas is there, and that was probably about 15 yards off the infield. No chance there for the runner to advance, as Pettis was looking to get that go-ahead run. Burley had singled his last 2 times up. And now Michael Murray will step in. Murray has struck out twice and walked. Has a chance to give Centennial the lead. That pitch fouled straight back. Both these teams tonight have been able to put runs across the plate with 2 outs. Here in the top half of the 8th, and that pitch goes upstairs by Hora.
Some defensive breakdowns for both teams in the last few innings.
Certainly there has occurred. And now swung on over to Waddell. Waddell has that thing take a bad hop. Runner's trying to score from 2nd. He does. And now the runner is trying to get down to 2nd. Great hustle all around. Michael Murray comes up. He put a hard ground ball to Waddell that may have taken a conspicuous hop. Usually a solid fielder, Waddell at 3rd, and that got by him off his glove, and 2 runs scored off with the sound of the bat that time. Both Anderson and Pettis. So 2 runs across now. Crooked number put up 6-4 lead for the Cougars.
You could tell that ball was smoked by the sound of the bat.
Squared up it was, and pulled up a lot of dust as well. Logan Karnowski singled in the 4th, struck out in the 1st, and a fielder's choice in the 6th. Again, 2 out run production, Austin. Just such a critical part of that game.
Big headline tonight for sure.
Demke. And there's and a look here again for the number 9 hitter, Kornowski. They'll flip the lineup to Kleiber if Kornowski can reach. Fastball out and away as, again, that Aces bullpen getting some work.
When's the last time you heard that?
Centennial's regained the lead, now 2-run, and swung on and missed, and a strikeout there for Hora. And Kornowski goes down swinging for the 2nd time tonight as we go to the bottom of the 8th, and now the Aces, Austin, have some work to do here in the bottom of the 8th.
Indeed they do.
Aces on the season had been hitting .262. That's 4th in the league. Centennial 5th in the Metro Mini and hitting at a .252 clip. And again, Centennial in their schedule as well active as they continue to get at it here this weekend. I mean, they just played a tough schedule with a couple of teams, including the Springers, took a tough loss there. But Centennial has a couple of games coming up here in the next few days here yet before the end of July, Austin.
Yeah, they do. They'll host the Plymouth Hit Dogs at home, and then it'll be back at home again against the Aces.
And it is. Looks like chance here. Maybe a new pitcher potentially in here for Centennial. In here, number 8, it looks like it's Tanner Albeck. I believe that's 8, or Austin, with your eyes.
I think that's a 1.
Looking at here, first pitch. I'll look here as Dylong leads off for the Aces here in the bottom of the 8th. Ground ball. And it is Sam Kleiber who's back on the mound. That's the first out of the inning. On the ground out to second by Dylong. Kleiber has not thrown a whole lot this season. Meanwhile, 17 innings pitched.
1.53 ERA. Having a sub-2 ERA is always good. .203 opponent batting average. Posting a 1.19 whip.
That's always solid to come in off the bench with. He's ahead in the count here to Bruce. 0-2 as the Huskies have trailed the game but have not led. In fact, they're down 2 here after that strikeout by Bruce. The first for Kleiber, and the second out he's brought down here after the ground out by Dylong as a leadoff hitter for the Aces.
Not sure what kind of pitch that was, but it looked like a really good breaking pitch to get him to swing and miss.
Lunau steps in. gets a look here. 0-1. He's come in and played second base here the last couple of innings. Held back on that cut. Looked as though he wanted to get at that. Got a full throttle swing on that pitch. And he's down in the count, 1-2.
Can probably throw him whatever he wants here.
In the dirt. Didn't go after that one. 1 ball, 2 strikes. To talk about last year's 2023 tournament, which is the goal for everyone. First get to that town ball tourney, state tourney. Anoka, Champlain Park, and Andover all there, just as I was about to make that announcement. But we have seen Lunau go down looking at a called third strike, and Kleiber coming in, lights out, 3 up, 3 down. That's a Wisconsin inning. You get in, you get out. And just like that, the Aces are retired as we go to the top of the 9th. A 2-run lead for Centennial.
QCTV is proud to announce award recognition for 2022, including 10 Telly Awards, and 2 ACM Hometown Media Awards. QCTV is dedicated to providing high-quality content for our community. We are grateful for the support, and we look forward to another exciting year here at QCTV.
Welcome back here, 9th inning, top half. As the Aces have made a pitching change, and now in is Ethan Zimmerman. Zimmerman has 15 2/3 innings under his portfolio. 3.45 ERA. And holding the opponents to a 2.09 average. Welcoming back John Heath on the mic. And the color here for the 9th. And the Aces find themselves down by 2. But I had asked Sam Plohas, how would you define the Aces team? And he says, we are a gritty and a team that is battle tested. And we've seen that time and time again this year. Hey, they've come back from a 4-0 deficit to tie this up. And right now, if you're Centennial and the leadoff hitter Kleiber up, you realize you got to keep your foot on that accelerator against this Aces team.
Well, right now what you're looking for out of a pitcher is let's go right at hitters. You know, let's don't give in. Let's don't give them anything. Make them earn everything they get. And if you come into the bottom of the 9th and he's hitters, this changes it a little bit as hitters. We'll talk about that in the bottom half.
Look here. Swung on and missed. Sam Kleiber got caught looking in that 4th inning, but he led the game off with a double. Came around to score on the single by Stoffacker, who actually went to second on the throw home. Punched out. Opening the fridge, pulling out a beverage and shutting the door for the punch out call to behind the plate umpire. Making the call, the second strikeout of the game for Kleiber, the first here for Zimmerman, who just started here top half of the inning.
Well, I'll tell you, that wasn't a good pitch. That was a great pitch. That was phenomenal. Almost unhittable.
This pitch hit the center. Dylan has it, dials it up, gets the right. What did you like about that pitch?
Hard, late, sharp break. I mean, that thing, 1 second, not minute, 1 second, it looks like it's right down the middle and hittable. And the next second, it's on your hands, and you're trying to figure out how to unravel that swing. So,
Well, Stoffaker didn't take much time to study the pitch, took the one swing and drove it to center for 2 outs. And that brings up Brylan Mose, the catcher.
Lots of luck about this kid. He's what I would, kind of how I describe my wife, about 5 foot nothing, but a whole bunch of come get some. That's what he looks like.
Some moxie.
Exactly.
Is that what?
Yeah, my daughter's got a miniature dachshund. That dog thinks he's the biggest dog in the neighborhood. Somebody forgot to tell him he wasn't. Kind of got a feeling that's the way this young man is right here.
Mose gets his hands below that pitch, lifts it to right in time, and gathering that in was Benji Bruce, and Centennial is retired in the top half of the 9th, and the Aces are going to their wheelhouse, down by a couple of runs, and a chance here to bring that grit and overcome the deficit and at least tie it up as they start with the bottom of the order here as they were retired. 1, 2, 3 by Kleiber. Kleiber had an impressive, as Austin mentioned, outing here in that 3rd inning to shut down this Aces squad.
Well, you know, and I tell you, so I said a moment ago, things change a little bit here as a hitter for the, you know, you need 2. One swing isn't going to win it for you. You're going to need to string together a few, and no shame in taking a walk. So I think if you're a hitter here, if you're the pitcher, obviously you're going to try to go at guys. I think as a hitter, especially early in this inning, I think you might want to take a peek at one, see how much command this guy has, see if he's going to let himself get behind, and then see if he can take advantage and then drop the hammer from there.
Well, he's been standing at the mound without a catcher to warm him up. But, John, you stepped outside. What's the weather like out there, Phil? It's humid.
Hot and wet.
Okay.
Kind of weather that if you're a lobster, you're thinking maybe I'm about to get dunked in the old steam tank here.
Kleiber comes in. He already has a couple of saves on the year. He's coming in with his 18th inning pitched of the season after that inning from previously, and throw some good numbers up there. Good activity on his pitches. Let's see if there'll be any pinch hitters for the Aces as they go to the bottom of the 9th.
So a couple things that jump out at me here. I mean, number one, you sure like that strikeout to walk ratio, that 24 strikeouts, 7 walks. That's over a 3-to-1 ratio. So you got to love that. And 24 strikeouts in 26 innings. I might have to change my philosophy here, Joe. This might be a guy you might want to be ready to go out of the gate. And it looks like from watching that last fastball warm-up pitch, he runs it up there pretty good.
He does. Very efficient. Not a lot of extra movement in his delivery, is there? It's on you in no time.
Hey, you might want to get those hands moving sooner rather than later.
Sam Berg, the catcher, leadoff hitter here in the bottom of the 9th.
You know, I think right here, if you're the Aces, you definitely want to get at least one of these first 2 hitters on base. Give the top half of that order a chance to do some damage.
Leads off with a breaking pitch that time. It beats that into the ground. It's Sam Berg coming in hitting .240. Ground out to short, struck out in that 4th inning. And then in the 7th inning, he'll fly out to right. That dots the I on the corner that time for a called strike 0-2. Kleiber ready for this delivery. Waste little time, swung on and missed on a breaking pitch just off the corner of the plate and in the dirt, but a strikeout. He has retired all 4 batters he has faced so far. In fact, he has struck out 3 of the 4 he has faced. Domovic steps in, Jake. The shortstop who played some college ball at Hamlin goes after that first pitch.
Pretty sharp slider right there, looks like.
This one's lifted. Finds its way probably to the outfield, and it's going to drop. No, it's going to be caught. You know, 3 in an area, a triad there is so dangerous. It's more likely it's going to drop than anything else. Those are the ones that if you have that whole outfield to yourself, you run it down. But
Well, and I tell you, that's the one where, as a coach, you tell those guys, don't be bashful, fellas. You should make sure they hear you in the next city over, whether you've got it or not.
Last game I called here at Castle, it was the Bucks who were down to their last strike. I believe down by 3 against the Aces, and the Bucks came back to win it. J.D. Waddell dropped the ball similar to that between the fielders, and it was a walk-off winner for him. So never too late, especially Waddell ready to lead this off. Waddell doubled. True instigator for that inning. He ignited things. Not only got the double, but he scored after the single by Plohas. This one could hit the gap. It's going away. It's going to be caught at second, and that is the game-winning out, or the final out of the game. That one looked like it had more juice from my angle initially, like it may be hitting the gap, but it fly out to second, and that ends it here for the Aces as they go down by a score of 6-4. John, any thoughts?
Yeah, I think the Aces showed a little bit of what Coach Hoppy talked to you about before the game. They got down. You're in a hole 4-0. To fight your way back and get that thing tied up at 4. A little bit of a tough inning in the 8th there. But good ball game, and again, ton of respect for Pettis. For Centennial.
And of course, the Aces get a chance to avenge this loss as they play again on Monday. With the win, Centennial moves to 13-13 overall, and for the Aces, they move now to 17-10 overall. Beautiful night at Castle. Thanks for joining us, and the crew did a fantastic job. Everyone all around in the truck as well. I'm Joe Rulin, and along with John Heath, thanks for joining us. It's a 6-4 win for Centennial. Thanks for joining us. Have yourself a Major League evening at a minor league price.